But other than that, I wish you luck this year, and I hope that your turning point takes a turn for the better. And
thank you.
Definitely, like I said, we'll hopefully bump into you in New Orleans.
Yes, I look forward to it.
All right, take care, and we'll definitely keep in touch with you.
And thanks, Kevin. Have a good night.
You too. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. It's Trina Michaels, ladies and gentlemen. A very interesting story of career path to go from adult film to the pro wrestling industry. Whether it's manager or in the ring itself. Definitely, a lot of film industry people like to go into cinema or some sort of acting. Not that wrestling isn't, but just interesting. But we're going to take a commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to be joined by that very, very troublesome indie worker, Mr. Brandon Kirk. So we'll be back in a couple of minutes.
The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
Hey, it's Tony Schiavone, formerly of WCW, and I'm almost desperately out of time, but I want to remind you, you're listening to the Indy Super Show on the Damage 365 Radio Network.
Wrestling Superstore, selling wrestling memorabilia from all around the world, including WWE, Impact Wrestling, Japan, Mexico, and the very best of the independents. They've got action figures, DVDs, autographed memorabilia, t-shirts, magazines, trading cards, stickers, vintage video games, and more. Plus, stop in and get tickets for great promotions such as UWA Elite, CZW, and many others. Located indoors at the world-famous Englishtown Flea Market, Blue Building Booths, 46 through 48 on 90 Wilson Avenue in Manalapan Township, New Jersey. Open every Saturday and Sunday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Log on to Facebook.com/FunkensteinINC for more information.
What it do, baby boo? This is Casey Two Scoops Spinelli, and you're listening to the Indy Super Show on the Damage 365 Radio Network. Ba-bam!
Look at this photograph. Every time I do, it makes me laugh. How did our eyes get so red? And what the hell is on Joey's head?
Hey, wrestling promoters and booking agents. You know where you can get inexpensive prints of your hired talent? Right here at Fast Copy Printing Center, located in the Pearl of the Bay Shore. That's right. Whether you need 8x10s, 11x17s, posters, long format, or even weatherproof signs, we can do it all. We also can create promotional items for your business, such as pens, business cards, drink koozies, banners, or just a coffee mug. Stop on down to Fast Copy Print Center, 81 Broad Street in Keyport, New Jersey, or just call at 732-739-4646. No job is too big and satisfaction is guaranteed. Tell them Damage 365 sent you.
This is Saraya Knight, and you are listening to Damage 365 Radio. You want to play with me, boy?
What's going on, people? This is the King of Chaos, Logan Black, And you can catch me every Thursday night, along with the boss man, Warriors of Wrestling's own Joey B, as we do our live Facebook Q&As on Facebook Live. Feel free to hop on in with any questions, comments, just about anything that pops into your head, and we're going to talk about it. We've got our own segments, we've got our own things to talk about every week, including what's pissing Joey off today. That's right, check us out on Facebook Live or right after the show. Damage 365 Radio Network. Check us out on there. It's posted. You can listen to it at any point that you want. I suggest listening to it sooner than later. Trust me, you've got nothing better to do. That's Thursday nights, 10 o'clock, Facebook Live, or right afterwards on the Damage 365 Radio Network.
Animals, come out and play. This is Nyla Rose and Native Beast, and you're listening to Damage 365 Radio.
The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, thanks to our sponsors, the Funkin' Sound Wrestling Superstore in the Englishtown Flea Market, Esposito's Pizza and Pasta of Matawan and Manasquan, New Jersey, Fast Copy Print Shop in Keyport, New Jersey, and of course Warriors of Wrestling. We want to welcome in Brandon Kirk. Welcome to the show.
Well, hey, what's going on?
So we got to ask you, only because, you know, we try to grab images of all our wrestlers that we have on the show to, you know, for advertisement banners and things, and you know, and I go on in and I Google Brandon Kirk, and you know, and if you just, you know, Google Brandon Kirk, I get a couple pictures of you, and then I got a couple of pictures of William Shatner. So I had to specify Brandon Kirk, the wrestler, and you come up, and then a couple of pictures later, a very specific thing comes up on the screen.
I can imagine. I can imagine what that might be.
Yeah. What was it? The Grimm's Toy Shop guy?
Yeah, Grimm's Toy Show.
Toy Show, yeah. So apparently, you know, there was a while back. It feels like years ago, even though it was about 5 months ago.
July of last year, something like that, like summertime of last year.
Yeah. Apparently, you and your partner had a little run-in and decided enough was enough and cleaned house.
Yeah.
So now, was this something that you? This was Aaron Bradley, correct?
Yeah, Aaron Bradley.
Okay. Now, was this something that the two of you spoke to each other about prior, or was it just you looked at each other and you both snapped?
I mean, we briefly, we didn't talk about it before the show. It was kind of like a spur of the moment kind of thing. I mean, we were sitting at the show, and like both of us really like kind of looked at each other like, this guy's like part of the reason that we did what we did was because of the way he acted just at the show in general.
Mm-hmm.
Because honestly, before that show, I had no idea who he was.
Right.
And when you show up to a show, like, you know, 2 hours late, and you don't shake anybody's hand, and you kind of act like, and you don't help at all because you claim that you're an outside talent, stuff like that just like kind of ticked me off a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But like not to the point where I was where I was even like thinking of doing something like that.
Right.
And then, you know, we were at the point where like his match was going on, and it was just unbearable to watch. And like Aaron Bradley and I we were just standing out ringside, and like we just kind of looked at each other. We didn't even say anything, just kind of, you know, nonverbal cue, just like gave each other the nod, and we just went in and did it. That's really all it was.
I mean, you probably did everybody in the wrestling industry, fan or worker wise, a favor by ending that dreadful match. We will not even name the name of that company because it's just not even worth it. And you know, then he went on his YouTube channel and, you know, cried the blues and everything else, and which just made himself look like even more of a jackass.
Yeah, and you would not believe the amount of messages and crap that I got after that. Like, I was getting death threats from his fans for months. and these were children. Like, his show caters to kids.
Right.
And, like, I'm getting messages from kids on Instagram and Facebook saying that they're going to kill me and they're going to kill my family. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I mean, let's put it this. I mean, somebody asked me a couple interview questions the other day of, what I loved about wrestling fans, and I said, their passion for, loving the industry and taking it so passionate, and they just eat it up. And then they asked me, what's the one thing I didn't like? And I said, to be able to separate entertainment and reality.
Yes.
And that, I think, is the biggest problem with the fan base of any level of wrestling is, entertainment. Yes, you guys are athletes, you're wrestlers, you put your bodies on the line physically and mentally every time you get in that ring, but you do it to entertain the fans, and they sometimes don't really, not that they don't appreciate it, they just don't understand that, when you leave that arena, you leave everything behind you. You're Brandon Kirk, the guy, who, yells at fans, bleeds all over the place, kicks people's ass and everything. And then in the parking lot, you're Brandon Kirk, the family guy who's, going to stop at the store and pick some things up for the family. And, people can't separate the two. It's just like, to get death threats over wrestling and
for something so silly,
it's disturbing, really.
And like people are saying, like, oh, he should be arrested and that they're going to press charges. I'm like, nobody got hurt. And, like, I went in there, I gave the kid probably like the safest power bomb of all time, and Aaron just bopped Grim in the back of the head, and it got a buzz, and nobody got hurt. So why there was such an uproar about it, I have no idea.
Well, like you said, his main part of his fan base are kids, and they're going to think like kids. So
yeah, of course.
I'm hoping no 40-year-old man messaged you and threatened you with your life.
No, I haven't.
At least I'm hoping. I mean, unless he lives in mom's basement still, then it's understandable.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. So I just wanted to touch base on it because I just thought it was funny that when I Googled you, he was like the third picture that popped up, and I just thought it was hilarious. So unfortunately, you guys are going to be linked for life.
Basically.
All right, so we have a brand new wrestling promotion that started in New Jersey called Standalone Wrestling, and they've done some stuff, some advertising, brought people to conventions on with their name and things like that. But now they're gonna put on some shows. They're gonna entertain the fans, and I've been told that you're like a big man with this company now, and
it's
I'm putting the pressure on you now. So just tell us a little bit about Standalone Wrestling and one of their upcoming show, because they got a show coming up soon and then another one in August. But tell us about the one that's coming up, most recently.
Yeah. So honestly, like, Preacher and Chad have been like talking about doing something together for a long time, and like, how like these guys, they always talk about like, people in the business wanting to start up a wrestling promotion, like start their own thing,
Right.
And like sometimes it usually just doesn't come into fruition, and like they just talk about it.
Right.
But like they're so passionate, like especially Preacher is so passionate about wrestling. I knew that they were going to make something, and it was going to be like something special.
Mm-hmm.
And like as soon as I saw like the card and like the poster that came out, I'm like, holy crap! Like this show is going to be insane. And like Preacher's so passionate about like wrestling and like putting on a good show. Like I knew that this was definitely going to be something special. And like just looking at the card itself, like it's just as good as any other like promotion that's been running for years in the area. Like it's insane.
Now, is this company solely going to be based out of South Jersey? I don't want to say Jersey Shore, because I think this is considered a little bit more south of the shore. I mean, is this going to be like their home? Are they going to stay in this area? Or